youtube.com/JFreshOfficial.
What's going on, people? It's your boy J Fresh here. Wednesday night selection called Pure Urban Fire right here on Fire Radio. Right now on the phone line we got one of the hottest artists. He's been working hard on the underground for many years now, and 2011 sees his first major single drop. We're looking forward to it. Wretch 32 on the phone line. What's happening, mate?
How do we do so? I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely feeling that intro. I was about to just let you keep going there.
I could have gone on, I could keep it rolling, but I've got to support you, man, because props for what you're doing. You're making big moves right now, so, you know, we've seen that. Let's get straight into the music side of things. As I mentioned in the intro, your first major label single, Traktor, is getting so much heat right now. It's released in January next year, so in a short while. Tell us a little bit about the kind of concept behind that record and how it came around you making the record.
Literally, Traktor was just me trying to put out an exciting track, man. The game needs some excitement sometimes, man, when sometimes it gets formulated, like formula-based, so it kind of just needed something a bit more edgy. So I thought, let's come out with this, man, the producer sent me over the beat and the idea for the hook. I went back in with my idea on the bridge. I kind of want to add, the edginess and a bit of soulness. So I kind of, if I was to summarize my sound, I'd say it's kind of cool, classy, with a bit of soul. So that track will be a perfect, description of what the album's sounding like.
Over the past few years, there's been no secret that the whole Team UK angle that keeps being quoted is really strong now. There's artists and guys that you've kind of grown up with, worked with constantly, Tinchy Strider, Tiny Temper, Chipmunk, Pro Green, Gigs and Devlin. We can kind of, we can go all day about the people.
Yeah, we know, because we know, you know what I mean?
Exactly, and from your point of view, it must be really exciting. It feels like now it's your opportunity, that the spotlight's on you a little bit now. You can come out with your records and you can start to develop, and your time's come.
Yeah, it's nice, it's one of them things where you work hard for, you work hard to end up in a bit as a spotlight, and then once you get it, it's just what you do while you're under it. So my main focus is just literally just making the best music. I'm just trying to make the best music that I can make and just represent the country on a global level.
And apart from the constant work on mixtapes, on albums and your own gigs, you've been heavily supporting these guys, the Pro Green Tour, Example Tour, Tiny Temper Tour, because these guys are family. Is it work or is it fun?
You know what? It's weird because it's a bit of both. Like, we know when to get serious, you know what I mean? But obviously when we're backstage before the show, we're cool, we're psyching each other up, we're running jokes, we're just talking, we're playing music, you know what I mean? It's like a family vibe. Yeah. And then, but once we hit the stage, it's all serious. There's no, I can't just run out on the stage at any time or you know what I mean? Innit? Like, everything's literally planned. There is no messing around here when it's show time. But before and after,
backstage, everything's nice. Out on stage, professional. Well, we see that, so it's all good.
We're putting our professional hats.
And on a musical level for you growing up, influence-wise, we know you've already name-checked in the past people like P. Diddy, Mace, Jay, Tupac. On a US level, on a UK level, what kind of artists or sound systems or DJs or anything like that, what kind of people influenced you and made you grow as an artist?
The skinny man. Mm-hmm. The Kalashnikovs, the Soul Solids, just the whole movement, man, because, you've got to think that being young and just seeing people doing it from our actual country as well, you know what I mean, and they're from here, because at that time we was used to so much American stuff, so when you were seeing the likes of Soul Solids, when you were seeing the likes of Heartless, when you were seeing Skinny Man on the next angle doing what he was doing, like cult fan base and all that, it was just like, right, that just shows you that it's possible. That's almost like the belief card. You know what I mean? So without them, I think everyone wouldn't have had belief. No one would have had as much belief as they do in the scene or even in themselves. So they played a big part, man.
And in terms of who you've collaborated with already, again, so many names, just a few: Loki, Bashi, Scorcher, Deneo, Double S, Skets, obviously Baby Blue recently as well. Who out there for your kind of future records do you kind of want to reach out with? Is there any standout people you want to collab with and you think, I'd really like to work with them?
this is gonna sound so random, but the script.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I wasn't expecting that, but
yeah, no. It's the script, man. They're sick, man. You know, because obviously me being a writer, and writing the way I write. When I listen to what he sings about and how he sings it, it's almost like he's singing. He's like a kind of I don't know, like a rock version of what I would write, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he's got depth, he's got metaphors and stuff. Like they're sick, man. I like them, man. I'd love to get in with them, man. Get them on the hook.
We heard it there. We can try and sort that out now.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe we should. You heard it here first. Maybe we should just go and get it done. Do the video tomorrow.
Why not, man?
Yeah.
Let's move with this nice and quick. And that's real interesting because you've name checked the script. Your sound is more than grime. It's the hip hop, and at the start of the interview you touched about your album. So with all these things in mind, what can your fans expect from your album? Are there any little collaborations you can let us know about? Any standout tracks for you?
At the moment, there isn't any collabos. At the moment I kind of get my album done first, and then I'll say okay, cool. Because a lot of if you heard some of the tracks now, you hear me singing the choruses.
Have you got anything with you? I want to hear that.
No, because I'd literally write it and sing the guide in. You know what I mean? And I'll sing it down myself and I'll say, okay, cool, that sounds like Louis Kessien, or that sounds like Cherry V, or that sounds like Anissa Dixon, or you know what I mean? Like I hear it after. So at the moment it isn't. It's literally just me. But once I've got the core album, then I'll say, okay, cool. That will sound better with her doing it, or that will sound better with him doing it, or let me get a rap verse from Chip, or let me holler at Tiny, or let me holler at School Shaft for that one. Like it's literally like that.
That's the process that you're working to. You're putting together all the building blocks, and then you're going this guy, that girl, that'll make it work. Yeah, nice.
Literally.
I like that. We spoke about music. I want to speak briefly about the business side of things. Business,
tricky bit.
Yeah, exactly. Statistics, very quickly, over 2 million YouTube views, well over 15,000 mixtapes. For 2010, 2011, now the entrepreneur angle, the business head, it's needed, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, definitely. Because you could be the sickest footballer in the world, just playing in the cage. But once you don't decide to take your skills from that little cage in your estate to, like, I don't know, a Saturday pitch where you're playing against other professionals or trying to get into a semi-pro team or a pro team, you always be that talent in the cage. So if you got to get your mind right from early, and I think now that we've seen a lot of people making good business moves, like we've seen Tinty Strider with the whole Star in the Hood thing.
Exactly.
We've seen him also team up with Jay-Z to do the Rock Nation deal. Like, these things are stuff that kind of make artists have longevity, even in the game. You know what I mean? Like P Diddy, he's not really just like a rapper. He's Sean John. He's Bad Boy. He's you know what I mean? Like the list goes on. You kind of really have to get into businessman mode. And the thing is, this is the hardest thing about it. You never came here to be a businessman. You came here to rap. You came here because you had a talent. So it's almost pushing yourself to the limit, because this isn't what you expected. You never expected to be able to sell clothes or merchandise or anything. You just expected to rap and people cheer and then go home and go studio and etc. So you kind of have to push yourself.
So we're gonna see Wretch, alcohol, trainers, condoms.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Right now I'm good. I'm all right with some little accessories bits. I don't want to go too major with the clothing. I'm not sure.
Is there a danger that too much focus can be put on the business side, and subsequently either the music an artist can put out might suffer, or it might, how can I say this, it might be a little bit too commercially orientated, if you see what I mean?
Yeah, like
it's a difficult balance, isn't it? It's a balance.
Yeah, and then it could be overexposed. I think you just got to use everything what it's for what it's for. Twitter is a very good promotional tool, but I also think that if you do too much promoting on there, you become a robot. you know, then they're not getting the idea of Twitter is for them to kind of get to know you and know your releases. If you're just showing them your releases, then you're still hiding. But which could be a good thing, or it depends what kind of music you make. Now, someone like me, who I try and touch you and I try and make you understand my life. I kind of just talk about realness, what programs I watch, what I'm doing, and I don't talk too much about music because I'd rather make my music do the talking. But then you have a person that talks a lot about his music, but that's just his lane. You know what I mean? I think you find what works for you and work with it. Literally just work with it, man.
And you mentioned about TV shows. Now, we know that one of the biggest TV shows you can't get away from has just finished. We're talking about X Factor, of course. You're laughing already. So, as a musician, I want to know, is X Factor a good thing or is it a bad thing?
As a musician, me personally, I wouldn't go on it. But as a businessman,
wow,
Mr. Simon Cowell, that's perfect for him.
Of course.
Because he knows he's going to dominate the charts from almost, the end of September up till now, isn't it? So he'll have everyone who performs on the show will be number one the next day. He's a genius. He's controlling the charts for 12 weeks. You know what I mean? So
it's mad.
That speaks in itself. Any way that you can find to dominate the chart, it must be a good thing. On the business front, on the artist front, you know, I think what happens is they get fame very quick.
Did you follow the show much this year? I don't want to go on about it too much, but did you watch much of it?
I watched a bit, man. Yeah, when I was in on Saturday, man, I watched a bit. I was kind of feeling Rebecca. I liked Matt, man. I think he was definitely one of them that deserved to win, man.
From my point of view personally, I think, you know, when you look at an individual, if they are genuinely talented and they can sing, as in they can really sing, sing, they can play an instrument or something to a high level, or they can songwrite or compose or arrange or something, I think that's great. I think perhaps, like you said, the fame does come very quickly, and this year's show, I think it's come quickly before people even got to the end stages of the competition and the TV and the media and the press and money's being generated. And on one hand, you think, look, fair play, you know, you're earning money, you're doing, you know, something constructive, wicked, go and do it. But I can't help but think, in essence, it should be about the most talented people win.
Yeah, it should be about the talent. Yeah,
and I know that I sometimes I might live in a dream world, but I think that the most talented artists should be the guys who top the charts. It should be the most talented or the most hardworking people who sell the most records.
Overexposed.
Yeah, and as we know, it's not always like that, unfortunately. But yeah, so your assessment is X Factor's a good thing from a business point of view. If you're Mr. Cowell with all those telephone call revenues and advertising revenue, then you're doing all right.
Look at the adverts that come on between that. How much do you think that costs? My God.
I think 10 grand a second for an advert they were given between the blocks. So
so okay.
Wow.
You're not case closed.
And obviously we're just around the corner from Christmas, from New Year. Your fans are going to want to know what presents they can get you for Christmas. What do you want for Christmas from your fans, mate?
You know, I want for Christmas, I want everyone to go on iTunes and pre-order Traktor. It's available for pre-order now, so that would be a nice present. I won't get it until the 16th of January. You know, but
it'll be a nice present when it comes through.
It'll be an extremely good incentive, you know.
But listen, thanks again for your time, mate.
Brother,
it'll be going out.
Absolute privilege. Thanks for that. It was a wicked interview.